So if you could get this game lined up, ready to go, I'm going to get something to eat because I'm starving. So you can sit here, you can got your thing on the go. Look at this. You want to see something cool?
Good. Good.
Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to the second match of today's OCAA championships between the Fleming Knights and the Humber Hawks, coming to you live from Centennial Field. Windy day, but a beautiful day for some soccer. Connor Forrest alongside with Natalie here. Second game of the day. The Humber Hawks coming into this game with 8 wins, 0 losses, and only 1 time. The Fleming Knights, 3 wins, 4 losses, 3 ties. So Natalie, right off the bat, what is Fleming going to have to do against this Humber team, especially when they have home court advantage?
Well, when you have home field advantage, that's exactly the main thing that you have to work against is you have to match the intensity of the home team when you're this far away and you're at a championship. And another problem is Humber is so seasoned with veterans that have been to national championships. They've had 2 national championship wins in the last 3 years, and last year they just barely made it out of the finals, just lost in penalty kicks and to the Algonquin Thunder to win the silver medal. No chance at nationals, but this team is hungry because they're on home field and they want to get that trip to nationals again.
Now, if you're just tuning in now, prior to this game, there was a matchup between the Fanshawe Falcons and the Niagara Knights, where the Fanshawe Falcons took that in extra time 2-0. So the loser of this game will go on to play the Knights, and the winner of this game will go on to play the Falcons. Now, right off the bat, we saw that corner coming in from Humber. So showing their dominance right off the gate, but now we are moving down the field where the not the Knights, excuse me, where yes, the Fleming Knights are, in fact, pushing the ball. Now, on average, Humber scoring a whopping 4 goals a game. Their leading goal scorer, Luca Baldesser, 7 goals a game. And for the Fleming Knights, their leading goal scorer is Josh Pinello with 4 goals on the season. They allow 2 goals on average a game, and they score about 2 goals on average a game. So anybody's game just kicking off, and it will be a goal kick for the Humber Hawks.
The Hawks are definitely the favorite in this game simply because of the experience they have. They have starting goalkeeper Alex Pothamont, who has a goalkeeper of the year under his belt, as well as a national championship and a provincial championship. Their backup goalie, Eugene Ogaro, has a national championship, goalie of the year, all under his belt, and they have defensive player of the year. They have an all-Canadian, and they've had a lot of people that have made it to that national stage. So it's just like this is the next step to get to where they really want to be, and they know exactly what it takes to do it. Fleming's coming here off a big win in their crossover match, so they haven't had as much time off as the Hawks, and they didn't get that much needed bye that Humber has gotten to these quarterfinals.
That's right, Fleming coming off a big 2-1 win over St. Clair in order to advance to this match right here. We'll see if they can step up their game to the level of the Humber Hawks, who, as you mentioned, are loaded with experience and talent on this roster. Immediately off the gate, going back and forth. Throwing for the Humber Hawks. That will be going to their own end. They worked the ball around. Going to keep it a slow pace. The last game was tremendously affected by the weather going on right here. You may not be able to tell, but it is incredibly windy and chilly outside, so definitely affecting the way the ball moves, so that definitely will have an impact in this game.
The wind did die down a little bit, but it got very cold.
Contact on the play after that cross to number 19, Janelle Hollett.
Janelle Hollett is Humber's All-Canadian, one of 2 selected in the OCAA, and he's had a very interesting career. He just came out 5 years of playing professional ball in Germany, and he did that as soon as he graduated high school.
So Janelle, obviously with a ton of experience there, drawing the foul, and now Humber with its first scoring opportunity, less than 5 minutes in the game. And it looks like Janelle will be the one to kick. So here we go. Very possible we could see our first goal of the day, of the game.
The Hawks are very notorious for getting on the board early. They've scored, oh.
And there it is!
Sorry, I spoke too soon. Sorry, Fleming.
Less than 5 minutes into the game, the Humber Hawks get on the board. That was number 8, Joshua Paredes Proctor. Replay coming in off of that free kick, drawn by number 19, Janelle Hollett. So right there you see.
That right there is their 43rd goal that they've scored this season. 43. 43 in an entire season. And the next best team was Algonquin, who scored 32.
Humber offensively is a powerhouse, as we just saw right there, less than 5 minutes into the game. They are already on the board, 1-0. Their first shot of the game is a goal. Fleming already finding themselves with their backs against the wall. They are going to have to step it up big time if they want to hang around with this Humber team.
Oh boy, and Fleming has had a rough time getting out of the East Division as well. It's a very high scoring division where their defense hasn't been able to really stop a lot of shots. And look at Humber. Humber is the highest scoring team in the league. They're going to have a game for themselves today.
So that free kick, the keeper unable to hang on to it. 1-0 Hawks. They work it all around. That is number 4, Mark Medeiros. There's Joshua. He's working up the left side. To Dominic Roberts. He challenges.
Dominic Roberts was also integral in last year's OCAA final. He was the go-to guy running down the wing, getting key shots that no one else could really get on the Hawks, but he was their go-to guy, and he's been proving it all year. Let's see how he does when the show and when the chips are on the table, because he always comes through.
Now you said Janelle played in Germany straight out of high school, correct?
Yes. For 5 years. He was telling me this yesterday when I interviewed him at the OCAA banquet when he won the All-Canadian Award. He was playing in Frankfurt. And
Frankfurt, Germany?
apparently, I could have done an interview with him in German, but, you know, I kind of need to know German
So
for
he
that.
picked up some skills and some speaking skills.
Just life skills in general.
Well, he's already had an impact drawing that free kick, which has led to the first of many possible goals coming for the Humber Hawks tonight. Fleming pressing, moving the ball around to Joshua.
It's only been almost 8 minutes into this match, but I haven't seen a possession from Fleming yet.
The cross into Janelle. He crosses that inside, but it's blocked. Throwing for Humber. Joshua. And right straight into Janelle. He's going to back down his defender. And they're going to take their time here, working it around. This is the same kind of patience we saw from the Falcons earlier today. Just working the ball around, finding that golden opportunity to get it done.
The way they move, the Hawks move on this field, is incredible. One person moves, then the entire unit shifts with them. Nobody is caught flat-footed. And that's partially why they get to the net so quickly and so dominantly, because they have numbers almost all the time.
So number 16, Kingsley, working it with number 14, Dominic Roberts. And now they're in the corner. Humber moving up. Janelle.
Oh, that
with a
what a
fantastic
turn.
move. Looking for a call.
That was incredible. Everybody bought that turn, that spin move. Everybody bought that, and that's why he's so good. That's why he's an All-Canadian.
Absolutely, after that display of skills with Janelle will take this corner. Less than 10 minutes into the game, he has single-handedly created Humber's 2 scoring opportunities and arguably a third right here. And no, they're gonna play that slow. So that's number 7, Patrick Matcher. So Humber unable to capitalize on that.
Oh.
And Janelle couldn't quite get a foot on that to save it. Some confusion on the field. And yes, that will be the Knights' ball. They'll take that from the corner. Janelle, along with Joshua, alongside Michael Ajikboy. They're going to press. Joshua heads that back in, and Janelle will recover. Taken back by the Knights. That's Duncan Allen. He'll clear. And back to the keeper, and the Hawks will reset.
Humber's just got a... Sorry, Connor. Humber's just has this composure about them. Everybody's bought into the plan that they have, and everyone works together for the same plan. That this team is such a cohesive unit. Like, you look, everybody is in position.
And it seems that the keeper for the Knights is having some butterfingers over there. You saw in that first goal, he was unable to corral the ball, which resulted in it bouncing into the net. And that play as well, he was unable to get a hand on it, which resulted in some bouncing around.
You know what? He probably cannot even feel his hands with how cold it is out there.
But right there, you see the fantastic footwork from Janelle.
That's fancy footwork. Such amazing ball control. And so composed. You can tell he's got that professional demeanor about him.
Absolutely.
He does that for fun.
So the Hawks taking their time, working the ball around. That's Kingsley. And he gives that back to Dominic. They're going to play that back to their keeper.
Kingsley is Humber's 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He leads that defensive unit and he led them to only allow 6 goals in the entire season for their 42 in the regular season.
6 goals allowed, 42 goals, 4 goals a game essentially, and not even a goal allowed per game statistically. This team is solid on both ends. It's hard to imagine who can beat them this year, especially with all the talent that they have.
It's true. That's why Humber's had such a strong dynasty for the past at least handful of years. It's been a Humber's made it to the finals in the past 5 years. 5 years. And they have won how many times? You mentioned 2 out of 3 for national. Well, the only time that I can remember was last year that they won the silver. To Algonquin in a shootout, correct? Yes, it was. Still neck and neck, and they'll be looking for revenge this year. This Humber squad hungry for gold. On home turf. Now the Falcons, the Knights, will throw in. They work the ball in the corner. That's number 12. That looked like it hit a hand, but no stop. No call on the play. That was behind the referee, so it doesn't matter anymore. Joshua, nice move to keep the ball alive. He's got space, no real pressure coming from him. He's got room to move. Yeah, he's not even being chased. Now Janelle, oh, the give and go play, stop, with the right idea. You can tell that this Humber squad is just mentally on the same page. Contact on the play, and that will be a call. That is number 7, Patrick Matcher. He draws that, and they drop it into Janelle. Josh Proctor's been very, very on top of his game and setting up the plays. There's not too many plays that don't go through him before they get started. So Dominic, he sends back Kingsley. Corrado, he's got room. He passes that one away.
And the Knights, they push, and they have numbers now.
Uh-oh.
Nice defensive play. That almost gets to the corner, but not quite.
It looked like it also took another deflection.
Tai-Shu Chan. His ball goes off the defender. Some contact on the play. Dominic Roberts showing love to number 7, Duncan Allen, after that contact.
Well, you have to. It's too early in the game to get the refs on your bad side, right?
Exactly.
That would be the last thing that Humber needs.
Especially as the game gets more physical. When time becomes a little more needed. The header!
Oh,
and
no.
It's a goal off the cross from number 3, Joel Gurung. His cross and the header. That is a goal, and the Fleming Knights have tied it 1-1 here, 15 minutes into the first.
Fleming couldn't have made a better pass on that free kick. And to be honest, Humber's defense didn't look like they expected it.
Number 3 with the cross in. The header came from...
Oh, it went through 2 people. It's probably really hard to tell who could have hit that because they were so close together.
And after further review, it looks like Jaden Miller-Foster is the one with the header, crossed in by number 3, Joel Gurung. So 1-1 the score, and now Humber on the attack. They try crossing it into Janelle. That's not quite going to go. Duncan Allen.
Hey, you know what happens? A lot of teams, they'll play up to the competition, and Humber's got nowhere to go but down, and Fleming has everything to prove.
Absolutely. That was a perfect cross. Fantastic header. And now...
There goes Janelle.
Janelle, he's inside, trying to get him the ball. Humber working their way around. Number 18, Michael Ajuboke. Duncan Allen. He's got room. He's going to try crossing that downfield. And that's headed away by Kingsley. So scramble for the ball, but the Hawks retain possession. Here comes Michael Kreminski. That is off the Fleming Knights. And the Hawks will reset to Joshua. He's got Dominic to his left. Janelle in the corner. Just a bit too strong, unable to handle that. So some sloppy passes from Humber early on, but 1-1 the score.
A little bit. They did not look like they were expecting that goal to happen, but it was perfectly executed by Fleming.
Absolutely.
Kudos to them. They deserved that.
Humber did look a little lackadaisical on the defensive end, but taking nothing away from Fleming, that was as beautiful a cross as you can find them.
But that's also a disadvantage for when you're the top team and you're the favorite. It almost feels like you don't have to work as hard, but you have to work even harder because of everyone else that is going to come and get that target on your back.
The expectations, especially when you have such a track record like Humber does, 2 of the last 3 years, gold medalists, a silver in the 3rd. You know, the Fleming Knights, who have had a rather rough season in their Division 3 wins, 4 losses, have nothing to lose. They are going out there and giving it their all, as opposed to the Humber Hawks, who have a huge chip on their shoulder.
That is true. A win against Humber could be just as exciting and meaningful as an OCAA medal.
So that ball out of play. And it will be a corner kick for the Fleming Knights. Second opportunity of the game for the Knights to put their second in the back of the net. The cross, and that one too short. Number 4, Mark Medeiros will stop that. Some scramble in front, but easily picked up by the keeper. And the Hawks will take it the other way, looking to regain their lead. Moving up the floor. That pass to Patrick Matcher. Pass from Patrick goes out of play, and the Fleming Knights will regain control.
We just got an update from Sports Information Manager and former OCAA President Jim Bialek how the women playing Cambrian today just finished the first half and they're tied at 0. So while we're watching this Humber men's team play, we're also keeping close tabs on the women's, and we'll give you updates as the Hawks both go at it.
So some scrambles into the corner, and the Fleming throw-in will result in a Humber possession. Now they're moving up. The pass from Janelle. Janelle with the ball. He's looking around, doesn't seem to find anybody, and he's going to try the pass, which is easily scooped up by the keeper. And now the Fleming Knights will clear.
That was great defense by Fleming. They totally took away the outlet pass for Janelle.
So Dominic, and they're going to send it back to the keeper and just reset here.
They play they're aggressive, but they're aggressive when they need to be. Their style of play, they sit back a little bit and they wait for the other team to make their move and ultimately make a mistake for them to capitalize on. That's how Humber has been so successful.
You see Kingsley, Dominic, and Mark Meadows controlling the field in the end, and then fantastic cross to Janelle. They're in the box. Can he find some space? He does. Oh, but it's blocked by a defender. And the Fleming Knights will clear. Janelle almost setting up the second goal for the Hawks, and they're going to try and get back inside.
Janelle is deadly. You don't want to give him too much room.
So the cross. Scramble in front, but Michael Ajiboke was unable to get a foot on the ball. And so now the Fleming Knights push up the right side of the field. Duncan Allen. He's going to drop that in. But Michael will be there. The cross. No Knights in sight, and that will be an easy picker for the keeper.
Yep, Alex Pothmont, get rid of that ball right away and start all over again. Don't waste any time.
Jesse Singh with a touch in middle field. Oh, and Janelle, after some contact falls, and that pass turned over. And now the Fleming Knights with possession. Josh Pinello. He tried feeding it to number 17, Jordan Cook Fellinan, but unable to do so. So the Hawks, like you mentioned, passive and aggressive when they find an opening. And now here comes Michael in the corner. Still challenging, but unable to do so. There's Janelle. Tracking it down, and Janelle, he just fires from the box.
Too bad no one was there to pick up that rebound.
Keeper unable to get a grab on it, and if somebody had been there for the rebound, you're looking at a second goal for Humber. But Janelle making more plays as the game progresses. And the Fleming Knights working in middle field. Stolen back by the Hawks. They try to get it inside. And now they're just going to slow it down, give it to Garado. And they're going to work it on the right side of the field. Staying passive, moving it back to their own end. Mark. He feeds it to Kingsley. Kingsley moves it up the left side. He gives it to Janelle.
Oh,
quick give and
love
go.
that give and go.
Oh, and that's that lead pass to Janelle. Not quite going to make it through.
They're so quick. They're so quick, and they're very, very efficient and smooth whenever they execute. It's almost like everybody's on the same page, and it's really fun to watch.
So they're going to get Joshua to throw it in. Defense moving up. All right, Dominic is looking around. They're going to move it back. Chips it into Janelle. Janelle in the corner. He pushes it up. Can he get a foot on it? He crosses it in, but a fantastic stop from the keeper, and he keeps it out. And the Knights once again will clear. Fantastic save from the Knights keeper.
You could see the look of panic on his face when he didn't know where the ball was.
If he had not gotten a hand on that ball, it would have chipped right over him, and it'd be open season for the Hawks.
Very possible.
So another chip in.
Great hustle down the wing.
Janelle, he's inside. He's in all alone. Again, the cross does not make it through. Stopped by the keeper. And the Knights go back the other way. 2 possible scoring chances in the last minute for the Hawks. They're starting to get on a roll here.
Yep, they did. They're just feeding off every time they get a shot on net. They just feed on it and feed on it. They feel closer and closer that they can get one to the back of the net.
Fleming, they're going to clear that. It's going to be a Humber throw-in. Whistle on the field. And play will commence. They give it to Garrido. And he's going to work it around. Moving it upfield. Here we go. The Hawks moving down the right side of the field. The cross inside. Michael unable to get a foot on it, but Michael gets the rebound and he puts it in. The second goal of the night for Humber. Off the crossing, Michael Ajiboke getting his first of the night. 24 minutes into the game, and Humber is on the board with their second.
Sorry, what did you say? Telling you, they feed off of every chance that they get. They don't look at it as a failure if they don't score. They look at it as we're getting closer. They have the right mindset. They just attack and attack and attack. Look how close they are. When Michael gets that foot on it, and he just gives it a good whack. That's all you can do.
Number 7 for the Fleming Knights. Duncan Allen unable to control Michael in the box, and off the cross from Janelle, he was able to get his own rebound and put it in. And a third goal for the Humber Hawks right off the second. A fantastic display of passing from the Hawks. Janelle to Michael.
To Jesse Assing for the finish.
Number 15, Jesse Assing picks up his first of the night. Less than a minute after the second goal, Humber takes a commanding 3-1 lead. That happened so fast. So here is the replay. And Michael with the fantastic pass.
Oh, he dummied him too. Great diversion play from Janelle in the middle, just in front of the box. Sometimes you just gotta be really sneaky when you score your goals.
Michael Ajiboke with 2 critical plays in this game. The fantastic hustle to get his first of the night and the second goal for Humber, and the impressive display of passing leads to the third for number 15, Jesse Assing. And now Humber, who 5 minutes ago found themselves in a 1-1 tie, is now up 3-1 on the Fleming Knights.
Now, if you're Fleming, you just have to make sure you keep the pressure, and if you have to, you're going to have to be physical with the Hawks to try and slow them down, because they're just so quick and efficient. Anything you can throw at them, anything in your toolbox that you can throw at them to slow them down is probably going to be the way that they can at least keep them off the board for the rest of the half.
And you can see the change in pace. As you mentioned, this Hawks team feeds off each other, and now they're just getting so aggressive, going at these Fleming Knights. You see Dominic all over the field, and they have full control of their half.
Exactly. They just reset it, and they were at midfield. They had no reason to reset, but they did anyways, because they knew that it wasn't their time yet.
Beautiful cross to Jesse Assing.
They're very good at recognizing when and where to strike.
So Logan Craig forced to kick that out off a beautiful cross in the corner, and now we will see a corner or a throw-in for the Humber Knights, for the Humber Hawks, excuse me. And it will be a corner. I believe that will be Michael. So let's see if they can make use.
That was a bit wide.
That was Janelle.
Oh, they still have a chance.
Not quite. So Janelle off that corner. Try to control the ball. He's pressured by Duncan Allen. Joshua keeps it alive, but the officials rule it out, and the Knights will retain possession. So another opportunity off that cross from Janelle. Number 18, Michael Ajiboke, almost with his second of the night on that last play. Fleming, they're going to try and push it up. Header from Dominic. Beautiful header straight to Patrick.
Great control. Oh,
and
boy.
now Michael in all alone.
Oh,
fantastic
what a
save from the keeper, and Michael was robbed of his second of the night.
That was incredible. That's just solid positioning. Solid positioning from Tyler Del Polaro. You just got to cut off the angles, and that's what experience does. You know exactly where to be at the right time, and he took away that far side that Michael wanted.
Did not score, but a fantastic play nonetheless. It just shows the experience and wisdom on this Humber team. their ability to work together. You know these guys have been playing together for a while. Seasoned veterans, as you mentioned, experienced players, and they're just clicking on all cylinders right now.
Exactly. This is what they do, and they do it every day.
So 29 minutes into the game thus far, 4 goals, 3 for Humber, 1 for Fleming, all coming relatively early in the first half. And now we see Humber really starting to pull away. Fleming Knights are pushing the ball up right now. They dump it in. And let's see what they can make use of it. Number 17, Jordan, he kicks it out. And there is a flag. That ball out of play. And it will be number 11, Jaden Miller-Foster. The header. The cross in. Scramble in front. Fleming Knights. Duncan Allen. Not quite. Dominic heads it out. But the Knights retain possession. That is number 3, Joel Garoon. He's stripped.
And they didn't even let up.
Patrick to Michael. Michael.
Great stop. Great
Excuse me,
stop from
that was Janelle. Janelle trying to get himself on the board there with that left, but a great save from the keeper.
Yep, Del Pilar had a beat on that the entire time, starting from midfield when Humber stripped the ball from Fleming.
So there was a messy play. And the Knights will be given the free kick. That is number 10, Matthew Caguana. You start to see that wind moving the ball.
It's already been 30 minutes into the first half.
And we have 4
goals. 4 goals in 30 minutes. That is just what Humber's been showing us all season, that they score early and they score often. And Fleming had a spectacular goal to give Humber a little bit
sense
of panic.
urgency.
Sense of urgency to get back on the board to make sure that they wouldn't let another one happen again.
But the Fleming Knights not letting up. A possible opportunity for number 7, Duncan Allen. But he's unable to convert. Now Michael just pressing the defense. That ball goes out. It is the Humber Hawks who will be given the possession. So let's see how they may do with it. But just relentless. And the physicality on some of these guys is really staggering. I mean, you can just from looking at it, you can see that the Humber Hawks, physically speaking, are out-muscling this Fleming Knights team.
And mentally as well.
So that cross coming up a little bit short.
Makes a big difference when you know where your teammates are actually supposed to be on the field.
Okay, go, one.
That was Janelle. Another shot. Good footwork, but Janelle going all the way back to midfield to chase that one down. Joshua, fantastic handle on the ball. To Dominic, going down the left side. He beats his defender. And the Humber Hawks doing it on all cylinders. Individual skill, team skill.
Humber's still playing like it's a 1-1 game.
Playing as if they're always down 1, always tied. That is the mental attitude. And Michael, fantastic lead pass. He breaks the defender. Oh! But he cannot keep it in play after beating the keeper. Michael with another chance.
I hope he shakes that soon because that was a little embarrassing.
He lost his footing there after a fantastic play off of a great lead pass for number 15, Jesse Assing.
What happens when you're a little too confident? There's being confident, being too confident, and then the ball gets away from you like that when you should have had a goal.
Absolutely.
It doesn't sit well.
Slow it down.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what the Hawks are doing right now. Moving it around. Dominic gives it to Jesse. Back to Kingsley. Crossfield. And they're just waiting for the opportunity. A cross in. That time a bit too strong. Into the box, and the keeper will snag it up. And Joey Pinello will take it up for the Fleming Knights. Immediately intercepted by Mark Medeiros. And a nice lead pass to Patrick.
Offside. A little too quick there.
Just offside. And replay incoming.
He had a great beat on it. Just a little too tough on the deke.
Oh, that was a replay from a while ago. That was Michael's second chance at scoring where he was stopped. Recently, he just had a third attempt where he was unable to control the ball after putting on a brilliant move to beat out the keeper. Some contact on the play, and Dominic cleverly playing that off the defender, and he will get the throw in.
It's hard to be perfect in soccer, that's for sure. So when you're close like that on a consistent basis, that's when you know that you're at a very exceptional level of play.
Joshua, his cross is going to be accepted, but Mark Medeiros is going to keep that in play. They move it to the right side now. Janelle working the ball around to the corner. Back to Janelle. He's got space. He pushes it inside. A give and go pass. Janelle
Chip it.
mishandles the ball, and he can't control it. A fantastic give and go play from the Humber Hawks, and that's going to be swept up by the goalkeeper. Putting on a clinic of passing here at Centennial Field.
They love those give and goes. It doesn't slow down the flow of play, which is smart for them because they go at such a high cylinder.
So now Kingsley and Dominic Roberts going to go back and forth here for a bit. Just look for the opening they want. Controlling the pace of the game. That has been Humber's game plan from the start. Garado, he pushes that up to Michael. He crosses that inside. And Michael Ajiboke unable to get in front of the keeper, and he sweeps that up. And again, we see another goal kick. And Humber will retain possession. Dominic Roberts. Fantastic pass to Joshua. And another give and go, a lead pass to Dominic Roberts in the corner. He's got Michael Ajiboke inside the box. But that cross almost went with the wind there.
It did a little.
And a little bit too strong. And the Fleming Knights just struggling to get it out of their own end.
It's true. The ball never left. Hasn't left in the past few plays.
Janelle to Michael Krzemski. Fleming trying to get it under control. Back to Garado. Mishandled. Give and go from the Fleming Knights. And there's contact on the play.
Not a lot of contact from the first game that we saw against Niagara and Fanshawe, where they were just shoving each other around in this entire second half and in extra time. This time, Humber and Fleming, they're just very crisp.
Very
and finesse, and they're showing more finesse than physicality.
Oh, right there, we see the cross in to number 17, Jordan Cook-Van-Allen. That's a bit too strong for him to handle, and the Humber keeper will play it out. Alexander Pothermont. So far, the only shot that has gone in has been the only shot that the Fleming Knights have actually taken, which is the corner.
Well, that's a pretty good percentage. They're
Yes.
shooting 1,000%.
Exactly. Alex, he's just going to survey the field. And the same game plan, they're going to give it to Kingsley. And they're going to work their magic, just slow the game down. Dominic Roberts on the left side. Back to Kingsley.
And they're showing that they're not even going to entertain the thought of doing any long passes on the goal kick because you're just going to give away your possession. And plus with the wind, you never know where the balls could go. It probably won't go where you want it to go. So keep as much control as you possibly can. It's very efficient.
Absolutely. They lure the strikers for Fleming to press them, and then they push forward and just nitpick every single hole in this Fleming Knights defense. It's a work of art, to be honest. It really is.
It takes a lot of discipline to stick with that game plan because you feel like you need to keep going forward and forward, but you need to go back before you can go forward.
Absolutely. But with a 3-1 lead, they're probably feeling very comfortable with themselves right now. So Dominic Roberts, he's going to chip that up. A fantastic cross, just a bit short, but that's going to bounce towards Janelle. And he and Patrick Matcher are going to go back and forth. Janelle blows by Logan Craig. Michael inside, just a bit wide.
That's the second close chance that he's had.
Michael
right
Craig,
in front of the box.
Michael has had a number of chances. He's already got a goal tonight.
Let's see that again.
As you see, Janelle just making it happen.
But that's what you do. You got to make sure you get position, and then you trust your teammate coming down the wing to make sure that they'll find you. And that's what they do. They don't do it on their own. They're not. This isn't a selfish soccer club. Everyone does a job, and they do it very well.
Mark Medeiros can throw it back to Alexander, their keeper. Joshua, he's going to come in and play that. Lead pass to Dominic Roberts. Can he keep it in play? He's going to chase it down, but it's going to be out. Fleming Knights will retain possession. Be sure to stick around for the following games coming up at 3:30 and 6 o'clock to close out today's OCAA championship. Again, the winner of this game will go on to face the Fanshawe Falcons, who recently defeated the Niagara Knights 2-0 in extra time. Fantastic handle from Joshua. The Hawks will retain possession, and Dominic Roberts will be throwing it in. So judging by what you can see, obviously Humber doing everything right, but what does Fleming have to do if they want to change this game? We are approaching the halfway mark. Time goes by quickly, especially when you're down. These Knights have to do something, Natalie. What do you think they need to fix up?
They can't take the bait from Humber whenever they try and reset their play. It's almost because they're making the mistake for Humber to attack that maybe they should flip it and get Humber to play their own game, where make Humber make the mistake and then try and capitalize. Kind of give them a taste of their own medicine. But Humber's very well coached by Michael Aquino, who is the Western Coach of the Year this year. And they know better. They know when to. They're just very good at recognizing all the signs of when to attack and when not to attack. So to be honest, like Fleming is very much outmatched by the Hawks.
The Hawks pressing the box, trying to find an opening, and defense pushed up beyond the midfield. Fantastic cross from Dominic. Inside
just
Kingsley.
offside.
And that is going to be offside. So you see the Humber defense, Kingsley, all the way up in the box for these Hawks. Dominic Roberts just past the midfield line. So they are really pressing these Knights.
But see, that's the thing with Humber, and that Fleming can capitalize on, is once Humber gets going, they're incredibly aggressive. So if you get them to get in that mindset, they get too aggressive, then they start making their own mistakes, like little minor mistakes like offsides, which are very common in the game, but if you get too many of them, that's more possessions for you as a Knight. So if you want to get them to be a bit too aggressive, and then capitalize on whatever errors they make and make sure that you actually do something with those possessions. That's the hard part with this Humber defense.
So far, a rather tame game compared to the previous one. Not too much physical contact, as you mentioned, and more finesse we're seeing between these two teams. I can hardly imagine we'll have any stoppage time in 3 minutes when we reach the halfway mark, although that is up to the officials, so we will see when that comes. But 43 minutes into the first half.
Oh, here's one of the few injuries that we've had all match. Doesn't look too good. Can't tell who it is from up here. We can't see his number.
That is number 16. Kingsley
Wojciako. I think the best way to tell which player is which is by their shoes.
Yeah, they all seem to have. There are some common colors, some orange, some yellow.
You need the bright colors. That's the swag nowadays. I wish softball cleats and baseball cleats were that colorful. But what are you gonna do? Exactly.
So Kingsley.
it's all part of the culture.
Will we see a substitution? I'm not quite sure. He's
Nope.
just going to rehydrate. He looks to be good to go.
Yep, just take a swig, get back out there.
So we will most likely have a little bit of extra time with this delay in the game. Can't imagine it being too long as we approach the 45-minute mark.
There's-
44 minutes into the game.
And that's our West Division Coach of the Year, Michael Aquino. He's been coaching the Hawks as a head coach for the past 3 years, taking over legendary Humber coach Jermaine Sanchez. That coached this squad for 22 years. He had 5 national titles under his belt. Absolute legend in Humber history. And Michael Aquino was his right-hand man when he was head coach, and that's exactly why he took over.
Living up to the legend with the past accomplishments they've made. And by the looks of this Humber squad, they are without a doubt going to be accomplished this year, if not the best team in the league. And another chance there for number 18, Michael Ajiwoke, who has been all over the field today. Kingsley seems to be recovering fine. And he and Dominic Roberts are just going to go back and forth. They seem to do that a lot with Mark Medeos at the right side of their defensive end. And slowly they're going to move it up. Dominic Roberts. Inside to Garrido.
Lots of great communication from the Hawks. They don't do anything without making sure everybody knows what's going on.
So substitution being signaled there. Actually, no, excuse me. 1 minute of extra time will be added to that 45 minutes. So 1 minute to go. And Janelle hustling in for that lead pass. He's gonna cross that inside to Michael. He can't get a shot off, and it's cleared by the Fleming Knights.
Good
So
move by Fleming, because Humber was too close to adding another one to their 3-1 lead.
if Humber can get it back into the Fleming zone, this will most likely be the last possession. Whistle on the field. Not sure what the call was, but play resumes. And will the Hawks press for another 4th late goal in this half? I'm not quite sure. It seems as if they're going for poor pass. And that will do it for the half. The Humber Hawks take a commanding 3-1 lead in the first 45 minutes of play. The Fleming Knights trailing by 2. Highlight reel up and coming. Winner of this game will advance, as mentioned before, to the winner of the Niagara Fanshawe game, which were the Fanshawe Falcons.
Right now, I think a lot of people are getting excited for the idea of seeing Fanshawe and Humber play each other, because they didn't play each other all season. And these are the 2 of the 3 division champions. It'll be very interesting because the winner goes automatically to the finals. The loser will have to fight to get to the finals, but they're the top teams. It's almost like it could go any way.
Absolutely. So here's just some highlights. We saw the fancy footwork from Janelle, the hustle play from Michael to get his first goal.
That was a little too close for call, a little too close to the face for the goalie there, Penarello.
And here we see the opening goal of the night, set up by Janelle with a fantastic play. And then Joshua putting it in the back of the net.
Oh, I love that dummy move.
And finally, that's such a great fake from Michael. That was immediately following his second goal.
And you know what? Jesse Assing deserved to celebrate that because of how perfectly that was executed. And then Fleming just surprised Humber out of nowhere with that goal, and nothing, you can't take anyway from that goal because it was just perfectly executed again.
Absolutely, perfect cross. Jaden Miller-Foster with the fantastic header. It took Humber off surprise, but in my estimation, I think that is what woke these Hawks up. That 1-1 tie immediately at the beginning of the game.
Yep, and that's sometimes you need to get snapped out of it. You still have a job to do.
So on the field, it seems Janelle and Kingsley, just, or is it Michael and Kingsley? I'm not quite sure, but having a conversation with one of their coaches.
All right, so that's about a 10-minute break until the beginning of the second half. Stick around, and we'll see you then.
And we're back. Second half about to go underway between this matchup between the Fleming Knights and the Humber Hawks. Humber leading right now 3-1 here at Centennial Field. Conditions in the weather still windy, but players making do. Winner of this game goes on to face the Fanshawe Falcons. The loser will go on to play the Niagara Knights. So a lot riding on this game right here. So far, the Humber Hawks have more or less been dominating this game. So Natalie, the big question in that locker room, what did the Knights have to do in order to get back in this game? They're down 2.
It's very difficult for many teams to stay on par with the Hawks because the way that they control the game is right from the whistle. They set the tempo, and it's their game, it's their pitch. It's hard for any team to change that momentum and that dominance to make it for their side. So you got to do everything you can to go against the grain of what Humber is set for the pace of the half. So anything that you can do to slow the ball down, just sit back a little bit and then push forward, or even just to be a little bit more physical and slow them down that way. Anything, you got to throw everything you got at them because they're just so dominant.
9 wins, no losses, 1 tie regular season. Humber has been clicking all year long, and they're looking to make it 10 wins with this one right here. And right off the bat, Dominic Roberts pushing up the left side. Back to midfield. We have Joshua, along with number 17, Michael Kremenski controlling the field. So back to Joshua. And this is something we've seen from Humber the entire game, just slowing the pace down, and then when they see the opening, they go straight into attack mode. Just clicking on all cylinders, something that Fleming really needs to start doing. But right there, a fantastic cross in to number 11.
Hey, Jamie, good ball, buddy.
Yep, Fleming definitely had a reality check in the locker room, and that's what you have to do. You just have to fire on all cylinders. You cannot let up against Humber because they're just so strong everywhere. You're going to have to give them your best shot. So right away you notice the intensity.
And right there, big contact between number 17, Michael Krzyzewski, and number 12, Josh Pinello. Challenge from Kremenski resulted in Camillo going down, and definitely a call on the field. Will there be a card?
He's reaching into his pocket.
It does look like there might be a card on the challenge. And it will be a kick in for the Fleming Knights. Number 3, Joel Garoon. That cross,
Very
it
good
goes
cross.
aside.
Oh, they're going to redo it.
We're going to redo it. I believe he went before the whistle. Now, if you're just tuning in, Fleming's first goal came on a cross, a fantastic cross. So if they ever have an opportunity to score, this is it. Oh, and that one a little bit too low.
He booted that one. But the first cross was very good.
Joel.
See, now they're finally finding that pressure that that opening where they can keep Humber on their toes. And Humber cannot let up either because Fleming's the one that has their back stuck they're backed up in a corner here. And who knows? That's the thing that Humber needs to be worried about, is the unknown of what a team can actually do.
So Josh Pinell was stripped, and now the Humber Hawks working around. Mark Medeiros to Joshua. His pass intercepted and out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. And the Hawks working the ball around the field, waiting for that opening. They have Janelle left side of the field. Kingsley and Dominic in the back. Michael Kremenski, he's going to throw that into Joshua. They'll cross in. Number 24, Luca Baldesser. Number 15, Jesse Singh. He cuts inside. He's inside the box.
Couldn't get a good shot off, but he's so strong to even make space for himself.
He did manage to get a little touch, but not nearly enough to get in the back of the net. But still, fighting to the box just shows how strong a player he is.
He's also a two-sport athlete at Humber. When he's not playing soccer, he plays on the badminton team. And the badminton team is also a very, very successful program at Humber that's won national championships in every single year for Lord knows how long.
So there's a call on the field on that last play between Dominic Roberts and number 17 on the Fleming Knights, Jordan Cook-Vanillan. And it is going to be Humber possession. Alex will kick that. So not only are they multi-sport athletes, but they have experience, they have wisdom, and exceptional coaching, which I think is something very, very, very key. As you mentioned, Michael Aquino taking over for Humber legend
Jermaine Sanchez. And that's the hard part, is where you're gonna get your game. You got to develop from somewhere, and
Exactly.
as a coach, it is an absolutely priceless experience to have a mentor. To have a mentor like Jermaine for Mike, that's basically why Humber has continued to be such a powerhouse for so many years, even after Jermaine has retired.
Not only that, but his assistant coaching staff also with experience. Alessandro Sabatini, 3 years. Assistant coach Ricardo Vanesca, 7 years. Jason Mesa, 10 years. So a very experienced coaching staff along with all Canadian players. So a very, very strong Humber team. As they push the ball up the right side. Michael Krememski, he keeps that alive. Challenge on the ball. Krememski keeps it alive. They move the ball middle field. So that ball crossed in, and it's going to be called offside. Jalen Miller-Foster. Bit too forward on that. We have a substitution. Number 4 for the Humber Hawks. Mark Medeiros? Excuse me, maybe there was not a substitution on the field. I do not believe so, no. Mark Medeiros has been in the game since the start.
Dominic Roberts, he's always that threat that just waits and waits for his time to pounce, and he usually does a lot of damage.
Taking it to the left corner, where he's got Janelle, as well as Michael Krememski. Excuse me, Patrick Matcher. Now Joshua.
They do look alike.
Very much so. As well as Janelle and Michael, number 18, Michael Ajiboke. Joshua, back and forth with Dominic Roberts. And they're gonna put that back in their own end, Alexander, and they're gonna reset. Over to Mark Medeiros. And Humber just taking their time, working the ball around, finding the openings. Turnover results in a scramble. Kicked out by Joshua, intercepted by Joshua. Scramble for the ball. Luca with the header, contact on the play.
Uh-oh, here comes opportunity.
Opportunity for Luca, but keeper for the Fleming Knights jumps out and snatches that. We've seen him do that a few times. One in the first half with Janelle coming in along the baseline, trying to cross it.
Even just a quick pass from a whistle. And that's the thing that Fleming cannot allow for Humber to set the pace. You have to put the foot down. You have to be a thorn in their side.
Poor passing from Jordan Cook-Vanillan of the Fleming Knights. Results in a turnover. Arguable call.
Looks like we're going to get a scrappy game now, which is what happened in the first game between Niagara and Fanshawe.
Absolutely. So
That second half is what turned it around. And here we go. There's a little bit of pushing going around, and everyone's looking for it. And then now you're getting the arms involved, and that's when things are a no-no.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jaden Miller-Foster getting into it.
Here we go. And again, Humber just takes control. They took their opportunity, so they're just sprinting. Here we go, number 7. Patrick's going. Patrick's on a tear.
Coast to coast. He crosses that in. Keeper Again, those Butterfingers almost cost him another goal with Dominic Roberts waiting right there for that rebound. But Patrick Matcher taking that from beyond midfield straight.
Yeah, someone get the goalie some hand warmers or something. I don't think he can feel his hands.
Now, as you mentioned before, game getting a little bit more physical because we are in the 53rd minute, down 3-1. Tensions are getting real now.
The egos are starting to flare up.
So, Gerardo to Kingsley. He and Dominic are going to work that around. Tries getting into Janelle, but not quite going to get through. That was intercepted by number 19, Jamie Gilmore. Replay incoming on that last play.
Here we go. There's Patrick just taking. It doesn't even show how when he started his run, but man, that was very lucky on De Penarello to keep the rebound that close because Dominic Roberts was ready to pounce on whatever was coming out of his hands.
Now, Josh Pinello just getting his leg checked out, possible bleeding. Meanwhile, the Hawks control the ball in their own end. Kingsley to Gerardo Magno. He's going to cross that. Again, just a bit short, but right in the direction of Janelle, who they want to go to.
My intercom isn't.
Ball back in play. Jesse.
Take my freaking shot.
Humber getting closer and closer. Joshua. They find Michael with the cross. Janelle is there, but it's just a bit too strong, and the Knights will retain possession. So Janelle hasn't been too much of a factor in terms of being touches, but you can always just see how he's involved in the plays and how everybody is just aware of his presence on the field.
And that's what happens when you have a superstar in your team is you don't even have to have the ball for the other team to think about you and always worry about what could you do. And that's when you get a lapse in like thinking. And then you open it up for someone else to take over.
No.
Kingsley sends that over to Gerardo. They're looking around. His pass to Joshua, intercepted. Jaden, he's going to control the ball. That goes inside to Joey Pinello. Gerardo trying to find space. To Jesse. And that was intended to go back to Gerardo, but a bit too powerful. Miscommunication on the Humber Hawks, and that results in a turnover. Knights.
And they know it, and they know it too. Like they're just had a good laugh, like, okay, let's not do that again. Very simple-minded team where if they make a mistake, they shake it off and they try again. Very positive.
Some confusion amongst the Knights players. Number 2, Logan Craig, and number 11, Jaden Miller-Foster, going back and forth about the miscommunication on that last play. Going back to the refs as well. He's got his card out. And the Knights coach also getting in on it, Tony Bambino.
Tony Bambino. The great Bambino?
Perhaps. So we're going to be a throw-in now. Big throw-in. The header from Joshua. And that is going to be either offside or the play had not yet started. Yeah, so they're going to redo the play. Whistle not yet blown.
That was odd.
So there's some confusion on the field. And now the game will commence, so they throw that into Luca.
Much better pass from the first time.
Another whistle on the field. That one going to go against Logan Craig. And Luca to Gerardo, and then back to Luca. I'm sorry, excuse me, Joshua. And now Mark Kingsley and Dominic Roberts just controlling that backfield, keeping the pace of this game right where Humber wants it. Mishandle on Dominic's part right there, resulting in a turnover. But throughout the course of this game, they have been very efficient. Nice save from Michael. Ball kept alive, but it is going to be a dead ball. Throw in for the Knights. Number 4.
Looks like we have some subs getting ready to come in for Humber on the sidelines.
Looks like number 27, Joshua Mills, and number 6, Daniel Clement.
Mark right back.
So for Mills, we have number 14, Dominic Roberts, coming out. Or sorry, my apologies. Michael Krzyzmenski coming out.
And for Joshua Mills, I believe Dominic Roberts will be the one coming out.
Just a little flip-flop, right, Connor?
Yes. Oh, wait. Seems to be some confusion on the play.
Now he gets the wave.
There we go. And now Dominic will make his way around the field to the bench, while Joshua Mills will come in and work the defense.
Roberts is taking the long way around, almost like the scenic route
Yes.
around Centennial Stadium here.
Perhaps he didn't want to stop play with his, maybe he didn't want to run to make play faster. But regardless, Janelle in the corner, Joshua, and he's going to give it to Gerardo. Back to Joshua. Janelle working the ball,
See,
close quarters.
it looks like they're playing passively by retreating. But watch and see. Once they take
Joshua,
their chance.
fantastic ball to Jesse. He gets that, and he's moving to the right side. Jesse Singh, right side of the field. He's looking for some space. He gets the cross in, just over the top of the crossbar. And that will be a goal kick. Jesse Singh with the shot on goal, but just a bit wide.
Very close. That was a great chance.
Fantastic cross from number 8, Joshua Paredes Proctor. Now, Jaden Pointer Miller.
And there we go, taking back what's his.
He's stripped by Jesse. Luca trying to get a header into Jesse. Unable to do so. Scramble for the ball. That's number 11, Jade Miller Foster.
That was quite the mismatch on trying to get that ball.
Give and go between.
Assing's much taller than most of the defenders down there, and actually Humber's outsizing Fleming on a lot of their players.
Janelle, ball on the right side. He has space. Janelle, passing that. Intercepted by Josh Pinello. Oh, Kingsley taken down from behind by number 17, Jordan Cook-Van-Ellen of the Knights. He goes down, and it'll be a free kick for Humber. Yellow card in the air. Conversation between the players and the officials ensuing. Everybody gets a breather, especially since we're going into the 62nd minute of this game. Fatigue will eventually start to play its toll.
That's true. Both sides are hustling and playing their hearts out here.
Absolutely. Humber, though, when they slow it down, allowing their players to rest, and controlling the ball in their backfield, and then going into attack mode, very energy conservative. The cross into Janelle, fantastic cross. Can Janelle keep it in play?
Oh, he almost blew a tire.
He does not. Looks like his foot got stuck in the ground coming up. Yes, very, very close. Did not seem like the cleanest fall.
Here comes
Jaden
a
Pointer
chance.
Miller is going to lob it up.
Oh, man.
And he goes just wide. He beat his defender. And Jaden Pointer Miller.
Hit that off the wrong part of his foot.
Jade Miller Foster unable to connect with that. And now here come the Hawks the other way.
Yellow card awarded to Fleming
Janelle.
College is number 17.
Here comes
Jordan
trouble.
Cook-Van-Ellen.
Patrick Matcher. He crosses that inside.
The defender read that really well, knowing that the first striker would just let that go for someone else coming down on the back door. Very
Gerardo
smart.
going. Challenging.
Oh, that was a late call.
Late call on the challenge on Gerardo. Here we have the replay of that recent goal.
He had every second, every opportunity, had no one around him, and he just booted it. I'm sure he feels awful, but you gotta shake that off. Like I said earlier, it's so hard to be perfect in soccer because anything is possible. Everything, it's like a fraction of a millimeter can make the difference between a goal and a miss.
Jaden Miller-Foster he's been involved in this game. That opportunity, definitely unfortunate he couldn't capitalize on that. But the Fleming Knights will continue to press on.
But see, the thing is, they waited for Humber to sit back, and then they attacked, and that's how they got that opportunity. So they're kind of giving Humber a taste of their own medicine.
Capitalizing on mistakes, and there's a scramble in front of the Humber net. Joshua kicks that out to Janelle.
And there you go. Now Fleming has an idea of what they need to do.
Fleming just capitalizing on the plays of Humber. So Humber definitely got to refocus, because that is almost 2 opportunities in the recent minutes where Fleming could have very well made this a 1-goal game. Again there as well, Fleming pressing the passing game of Humber. And now the Hawks moving it up. They give it to Jesse. And he's got Mark Medeiros with them. Gerardo. Inside. Back to Gerardo. He's got Mark Medeiros. Ball going back to Gerardo. He heads it out. Jesse pressing. The lob up front. Joshua is there, and Alexander is going to scoop that up. So back and forth between Humber and the Fleming Knights so far in the recent minutes. Score remains the same, 3-1, approaching the 65th minute of this game.
Oh, nice try. That would have been a really pretty play.
Fancy passing from the Humber Hawks, but
From
picked
Luca
off.
Baldessari, who's Humber's leading scorer, by the way.
Josh Pinello, number 12, carries that down the right side of the field for the Fleming Knights. And here comes the throw-in. Joshua going to clear that out. And here come the Hawks. They have space and they have numbers. Jesse Singh, give and go between him and Patrick Matcher.
Too far.
But the lead pass is just a bit too strong, and that's going to be picked up at the top of the box by the keeper.
You can tell they're starting to get a little tired. They've been going too fast for too long.
Absolutely. Not much stoppage time as compared to some of the games of recent.
That is true. No breaks.
And a
More
high-scoring
finesse.
game. Call on the field. And the throw-in. Medeiros to Daniel Clement. And Kingsley is going to give it back to his keeper. You start to see the Fleming Knights start to pressure a little bit more. Jordan Cook-Van Ellen pushing up.
Great wheels. Joshua Mills really, he turned on the Jets to get a chance, a piece of that one in the corner. And now Humber. Oh no, Fleming has possession, but let's see what Fleming can do with it.
Fleming going to clear it. Back into Jaden Miller-Foster.
Ooh, that must have hurt.
That's not quite going to get through, but he retains possession. Jaden, the cross in. That header, not quite in the position for a scoring opportunity. It goes wide, and it will be a goal kick for the Humber Hawks.
It was almost like playing pinball on that one. it hit so many things before it even went out.
So we have another substitution on the field. It's going to be number 22, Sonen Astender, coming in for what appears to be
Jesse Assing.
number 15.
He deserves a
Jesse
rest, though.
Assing.
He's been running up and down that field. He's got a goal. He's got a goal for him, and he's been showing a lot of hustle.
Luca Baldessare. And right off of coming in, Sonen Astender with an opportunity to score, but that is going to be waved offside. But getting involved as soon as he's subbed in, always a good sign for the Humber team.
It's true, but that's what happens when you're a little too aggressive.
Ball's in the air. Daniel Clement, he's going to clear that up. Contact on that play, but no call.
Oh, ooh.
Number 24, Luca Baldessare,
Now that was a close call.
almost getting into it with the keeper. Lots of contact on that last play. That will be a definite. That will be a definite call on number 12. Excuse me, on number 6 for the Humber Hawks, Daniel Clement. Josh Pinello, he works it in the backfield with Joel Garoon, headed by Mark Medeiros. Joshua to Garado. He leads that up. Janelle can't quite get a foot on it, and that's going to be clear the other way. Is Joshua going to let that play out? Offside is the call.
That was a very unproductive possession from both sides.
And the keeper, Alexander, going to cross that up. Headed back to midfield, where Jaden will get it to control. Nice pass from Jaden to get away from his 2 defenders.
That was very creative.
But Patrick Matcher giving it to Daniel Clement, but it's off the defender. Do we have a possible goal? Number 22, Sonnen Assender couldn't quite get a foot on it.
Oh, man. That's
And that goes
tough.
wide.
That's just going too fast for what's really happening. They had it poked away from him at the last second.
Absolutely. Daniel Clement with the shot, bounces off the defender. As you can see, bounces off the defender from Daniel Clement's shot. And Sonnen Assender can't quite get a foot on it to put it away.
But that's all right. He just came off the bench. He's got a lot of time for another one.
Speaking of which, player who's been involved on the Fleming Knights side, number 11, Jaden Miller-Foster, seems to be injured, some sort of cramps. Stretching it out on the field, so possible substitution in that regard. And he's going to make his way off the field, and it looks like number 25, Aaron Willichuk, will be coming in to replace him.
We have an update from the wire. The women playing Cambrian. They're 7 minutes into extra time. The game is still tied at 0. Very close match for their first match of the provincial championships.
Now back to the game at hand. The Fleming Knights with the throw-in. And that ball immediately goes right out. Sloppy throw-in. And the Hawks will retain possession. That wind's starting to pick up again.
Yes, it is. Just look at the poles in the corners. If you see them going around like a flailing, waving arm inflatable tube man, you
Yeah.
know it's windy.
Absolutely, so that's definitely having an effect throughout the game. We have now hit 71 minutes into the game. Time winding down for these Fleming Knights. They're going to have to put 2 goals up if they wish to stay in this game. Humber, 19 minutes away from moving on to face the Falcons. Alexander to Joshua Paredes-Proctor. Back to Joshua. They're just going to work the ball around in their own end for now until they find an opening.
It's true. They don't need to be exerting themselves right now. They have a pretty good cushion.
So Sonnen unable to handle that. And Kingsley with the fantastic defensive play knocks that away from Jamie Gilmore. And now Kingsley down in the same position we saw Jaden Miller-Foster in. So perhaps maybe a possible substitution coming in for number 16.
That would be very costly. That would be a very costly substitution for Humber. That's their top defensive player. Fleming is still, they can still do some damage. You still need your top defensive players out there.
Absolutely. It was only most likely probably 5 minutes in which we saw 3 of the 4 present goals going on here. Humber capitalized back-to-back within a minute to score their second and third goal, and Fleming responded immediately to Humber's first initial goal. So it can happen like that, as we have seen in the beginning. So you definitely don't want to lose any critical players.
Of course not. it ain't over until the fat lady sings.
So there you
Until
see
then, anything can happen.
Michael Aquino, the Humber Hawks head coach. And this will be adding to the extra time, which will place at the end. Looks like Kingsley. Will in fact walk it off, and he is going to take a breather for a bit as play commences.
It's always promising when he can put some weight on it. I don't feel as worried. But still no status on what the injury may be.
Cross in, attempted to get to number 12, Josh Pinello, but no good. That cross in from Joshua Mills. Not quite gonna go. Garado challenges the cross in to Aaron Willichuk, and that's gonna be picked up by Alexander, and he is going to clear that.
Posamon, very smart play. Don't give them anything. They're too close. You just gotta sacrifice your body and stop the ball.
Cross in. Attempted header by Luca, no good. That one's up in the air. Duncan Allen and Jordan Cook Van Allen are going to be on that. Joshua Mills moves it up to Janelle. Janelle, he's going to control that middle field. A great cross to number 22, Sonnen Axender. That's going to go up with that cross from Janelle, setting up a throw-in. Another substitution. Number 11, Kasra Dehedezi coming in for number 4, Mark Medeiros. So you can see Humber now starting to put some fresh legs back in the game while they have some security with the score.
Exactly. They're starting to, with 15 minutes left, they're starting to think about the next game. And you know what? That's smart. You have to manage your players' minutes if you want to go far in this tournament.
Good news for the Fleming Knights. Jaden Miller-Foster is back in the game. Number 19, Jamie Gilmore, will come back out. Call goes against the Humber Hawks, and the Knights will receive the ball.
Getting ready for another substitution, like you said.
Humber getting all their fresh legs in.
Michael Schiraldi, number 2, is waiting on the sidelines for the referee to give him his approval.
That will be number 3, Joel Garoom, who will take this free kick. Header by Jaden. That crosses center. Gerardo. Up to Janelle. Janelle. He's going to push this up.
Here comes the one-man.
Inside to number 24, Luca Baldeser, but he doesn't get a foot on it. And back the other way we go. But Janelle getting back involved in the play, taking that from midfield to the Knights box.
He moves so quickly. Sometimes it's even too quick for his own teammates.
Well, in that case, you are correct. Luca could not get a foot on it. And here we go with that substitution. It looks like it is going to be number 8, Joshua Paredes Proctor coming out, and number 2, Michael Schiraldi coming in.
Proctor definitely deserves a rest. He played his heart out. He kept Fleming off the board other than that one time, and he just kept the pressure going. He started all the plays for Humber to get on the board.
Absolutely, Joshua, along with other key players, Marcos Madera, Dominic Roberts, Kingsley, all of these players who managed the mid and backfield for this Humber Hawks team, controlling the pace, setting the tone, which has led them to this 3-1 advantage heading into the 80th minute here at Centennial Field. Jaden Miller. And they double up on him, but they retain possession.
Communication hasn't stopped.
Daniel
And they
Clement.
execute.
Luca. He has the ball. He's pushing it up. He's forced to the right side. A little contact on the play, but they do retain possession, so it will be a throw-in, and now Humber looking to set up an opportunity to score. The throw-in will come from newly substituted Michael Schiraldi, and he throws that into Patrick Matcher. Schiraldi looks to get some space. He's stripped. That was by number 12, Josh Pinello, and he showed some footwork there, drawing the foul. And now here comes Joel Garoom with the free kick, and the Fleming Knights hope to get on the board with the second, while they still have some time left in this football game, or soccer, whichever one you wish to call it. That header coming from Jordan Cook-Fenelon.
Oh, there's a
Fenelon,
chance.
he had some room, but not quite going to get a foot on it, and that's cleared out. So now Janelle chasing Taishu Chan. And that ball out of play.
We have about 10 minutes left in the half, not including injury time. But finally the half is winding down, but Fleming has done exceptionally in keeping Humber off the scoreboard, but keeping the pressure on them and not giving them easy plays.
Absolutely, but then again, the Humber Hawks have also done the same with controlling the pace and keeping Fleming off the board. And if only had Fleming had done this earlier, the score might be a little bit more in their favor.
That's true. If they could take back 2 minutes, I know which 2 minutes they would take back. Other than that, they've been spot on.
So that ball off of the Knights. The throw into Janelle, and he's going to head that up, looking to find Luca. However, that goes out of play. Throw in for the Fleming Knights. So that throw in immediately sent back. Patrick Matcher with the header. Schiraldi challenging.
What you got to do, you got to put the muscle on him.
Fantastic challenge by Schiraldi, and it is awarded to the Hawks. Janelle, midfield,
Nice pass.
and he has Patrick Matcher with them. Sonnen with Clement on his right. Into Janelle. He's looking for an opportunity.
He's due for a goal.
And Janelle chips that down into the box, but no Hawks there to play off of it, so it will be Knights ball. And that kick, center field. Josh Pinello unable to get a header on it.
Now it's getting a little sloppy when it comes to trying to fight for the ball. You can tell both sides are tired. They're both mentally tired too.
81 minutes, 82 minutes into this game. Fatigue definitely setting in, especially in these cold, windy conditions. If you freeze up, that's going to be tough.
That wasn't a bad shot.
That kick in the vicinity of the net.
With this wind, that's usually has the final say.
Although Alexander Pathemont has only had one shot come his way, but still a fantastic performance of him managing the backfield as well as controlling the pace.
Oh, here we go.
Possible opportunity to scramble in front. Clement, he's going
Schiraldi.
to try and get that through,
Oh, that's dangerous.
but it's stopped by the keeper. A number of Hawks in the area.
that can
for
be
that one.
dangerous.
Michael Schiraldi was there. Daniel Clement was in the house. So definitely.
Del Pilaro's very lucky he didn't get a boot to the face or get stepped on because everyone was crashing in on him. Not sure what we're waiting for at this point. Maybe to see if there was a penalty. Is he missing a tooth?
I believe so. But I can't imagine that is from just now. Otherwise, that would be agonizing.
He looks more like a hockey player than a soccer player.
Very much so, yes.
But still, very intimidating.
It is.
Do you think he knows what he wants for Christmas?
I don't know. Possibly a new mouth guard.
A mouth guard and a
Possibly.
front teeth.
So that clear. Going down into the corner. Challenged by Aaron Willichuk. Willichuk forces the throw in. And you can see the urgency now on this Fleming Knights team. Again, Willichuk, the throw in. Duncan Allen. That ball just being thrown in and being hit right out.
It was a great effort by 22 to just get through, but he stayed with it, and that's what Humber appreciates, that you get down, you get right back up, and he had support from all direction to try and get a goal up. But, you know, he did get a boot to the face. Oh, that's not easy. Oh, I really hope he didn't lose his tooth on that one.
That would be very unfortunate if he did. But Gerardo putting the moves on in the box off the pass from Janelle. And the Humber Hawks forced out by numbers 2, Logan Craig.
We have an update from the Women's Provincial Championship happening at Fleming College right now. The women's soccer team is in second half of extra time and is still tied 0-0 against Cambrian. And once that half is over, we'll give you another update. Hopefully, we'll have it before the end of this match.
Daniel Clement, right side of the field, he keeps it in play. He's pressured by 2 defenders, Logan Craig and Josh Pinello, and they ultimately force the turnover. Deep throw in, and that goes right back to Clement. He takes it to the midfield. Back to Clement. Chip inside, he was looking for Janelle, and that's going to be pushed back out. Winding down here, 85 minutes into play. Janelle. Nice move, he blows by his defender. He gives it to Gerardo. Gerardo, he's going to fire away, and that's going to be high and wide.
She gone.
Gerardo getting a shot in
He
before the end of this game.
He toe punted that one, but it was a very aggressive move by Magno. Also another veteran that he started his rookie campaign with a national championship and won another one after that. So he's very familiar with the show and an integral part to the young players on this team that want to get a career like his.
Call on the play. It's going to be Humber ball. Time winding down here.
We're having a deflate gate here. Gerardo Magno didn't want that ball. It wasn't inflated
Possible deflation in the soccer ball. Very much so. I don't know if this will result in a court case and $1 million suspension, but definitely something to fix for the ongoing few minutes and games to come.
OCAA deflate gate. Who knew?
Janelle forcing his way through defenders, lose the ball, still pressuring, and that's going to be cleared down to the midfield where Gerardo is going to pick that up, and the Humber Hawks reset.
Less than 3 minutes to go, not including injury time. So who knows? Not too much. Well, there should be a few minutes tacked on for injury time. We had a few stoppages.
I imagine there's going to be a few minutes, absolutely. Clement, he's going to head that up. Luca, 7 goals on the season for him. Gerardo challenges. Just good footwork, good ball work from the Fleming Knights until that turnover, but they get it back.
There was a little miscommunication there, but you know what? Humber hasn't shown too many this game.
Josh Pinello. Logan Craig keeps that in play. Pinello inside. The Knights slowly but surely working their way in. Back to Pinello. Nice move from Pinello. He almost gets through, but Let's give him back outside to Peter Oubre. Peter, back to Craig. The chip inside to Duncan Allen. But finally, the Humber Hawks managed to get a foot on it, and they clear it out. And now, Soden Asendar. Luka, outside to Janelle. Janelle, he has room. He's looking for the shot. He fires. Stop. And Pinella will meet it at the top of the box to clear it out. And here come the Knights. The crossing. Clement, he tries to get it out. But stopped by the Knights. Jaden chasing the ball. There's contact on the play. So we have a replay on that last one. And there it is. So definitely lots of contact. Are we looking at a penalty kick? It seems we are. So on that challenge from Gerardo, number 11, Jaden Miller Foster. And here we are with the penalty kick. And here we go. The kick is inbound, and that's a goal. The Fleming Knights get their second on the penalty kick. And there seems to be an altercation going up on the field.
Oh my gosh.
Between the Flemington players, and I believe it was started with Alexander.
That's
the
not
Humber
good.
Keeper when going with the ball, so definitely need to break that up. But 2-3 Humber Hawks.
That's not good. He got shoved into one of the crossbars or one of the posts. Let's have a look at that again. See, maybe we can figure out how it started.
I believe
Penalty shot,
after the shot, he goes to get the ball.
and the guy went to go
Yeah, he
celebrate.
goes to get the ball too. I believe it was one of those moments where they go to grab the ball, bring it back to the half to avoid wasting clock. And there was an altercation when Alexander also went for the ball as well.
One guy just went in there just to get a shove and then left.
Definitely tension's high now that the Fleming Knights have hope. We are in extra time over the 90-minute mark.
That's right. You can't let teams hang around. And that's what Fleming has been doing. They've been using Humber's mistakes to get ahead. And now we have ourselves a game.
4 minutes of extra time. So Fleming does indeed have a chance to pull this game back. They need one goal, down 3-2. The Hawks, they look to be making a substitution. Kingsley will be coming back in the game shortly. Free kick awarded. That's going to be Joel Garoux. The first goal initially came off of a free kick for this Fleming squad. They can't capitalize there, though. Number 24, Luca Baldesser, battling for the ball. That cross off of the Humber player. And another throw-in. In the corner. The Hawks starting to push up the left side. They give it to Luca.
Yeah, that's a good run.
He gives it to Patrick. Patrick Matcher can't quite hold on to it, but he presses.
Can see
Logan
the wind.
Craig.
The wind's back, and it's really, really taking away from the true direction of the ball.
And now here we have our substitution. As mentioned before, Kingsley will be coming back in for number, I believe, it looks as if it's going to be number 7, Patrick Matcher. So Kingsley, Boyisako, back in the game. Fleming moving out of their own zone. Pinello back to Garoom. He's looking. The cross. He's trying to find and Duncan Allen. Allen. He gets forced out of play, and here's the throw in.
That was a good fight for Allen against someone who's actually bigger than him.
So, gives it to Miller, but that throw just a bit too long. Miller scoring the second goal for that Fleming Knights team. Off the penalty kick.
And that's the tough part. Once you found your mistake to capitalize on, you have to make sure you capitalize on it. And that's the game.
That is the game. The official sounds the whistle. 3-2 is your final score. And the Humber Hawks will be meeting the Fanshawe Falcons tomorrow, while the Fleming Knights will be meeting the Niagara Knights in the Constellation.
It was a great game. It was a great effort from Fleming. And you know what? They did rise to the occasion when they needed to. It's too bad that they couldn't pull through. But to have a close game as they did, with the record that they did, I think that's still a pretty good achievement for them.
Absolutely. 3-2 against this Humber team is not a bad score at all. They got a nice break with that penalty shot. They capitalized early on. And here we have the player of the game, number 18,
Michael Albuquerque. And then for Fleming,
number 11, Jaden Miller Foster.
no surprise there.
He was all over the place. Scored that second goal to bring them within one, giving them hope. He was great.
And there he is. There's Jaden Miller Foster. He initiated a lot of the attacks for Fleming. And, I mean, to have a 2-3 game or 3-2 game, those goals, I'm sure he had a piece in.
Absolutely. He was all over the place. Fantastic play on both teams. Just the Humber Hawks got out to that one hot start where they put up 3 goals in literally less than 20 minutes. 2 of them came almost literally back to back. So definitely a great game overall by both Fleming and Humber.
You know what? Just like the first game, the second half is when the physicality took a step up and quite a few injuries. But I think the weather you have to attribute it to. Everyone's going to play hard because it's the OCAA championships. And Fleming's keeper, Del Polaro, he did a good job. He did a good job in keeping Fleming in this game, and he took a lot from Humber.
Absolutely. Number 18, Michael Bouquet, the player of the game for Humber, had a number of chances to increase this lead, but he kept them in this game. Signs of frustration in our highlight reel, as well as a number of great saves from the keeper, as we were just mentioning.
Yep, he did. He sacrificed his body today. He did a good job.
So the final score, once again, 3-2. Humber, overwhelmingly a dominating performance. They led in shots, possession percentage. The work of Janelle being on the field, as well as Kingsley, Dominic Roberts, and Mark.
And that fight is that's not a good way to end a match like that. You're gonna go into tomorrow thinking about how you let a team defeat you mentally, and that's not right. That's not the way that Humber plays. They like to have control of everything. So hopefully they bounce back and find their composure for tomorrow against Fanshawe, because one little costly mistake like that and getting into a fight and your emotions are not where they're supposed to be.
All right, so with that win, as mentioned before, the Fanshawe Falcons are now going up against the Humber Hawks tomorrow. I believe that is around 3 o'clock. The Fleming Knights will be going up against the Niagara Knights. So we'll have a time for you on that coming shortly.
And until then, we're getting ready for a few more games today, but stick around. We'll have some time. You'll get to see some first round action. And thank you for watching. On behalf of Connor and myself, Natalie, take care.